Hi, gorgeous Scorpio. I am really excited to talk to you this month because I'm happy to report that the vibe that I get from your collective energy is really, really nice and positive and warm and is all about growth in a real way. The note I actually put down is this month you are like a flower blossoming. We start the month out with you planting some seeds. And by the end of the month, we have a full moon in your sign on the 29th. We have this gorgeous Scorpio full moon that is just going to help you feel that you have stepped into some new power, some new empowerment in your form. That you've almost, I feel like April's one of those months where you look in the mirror and see yourself a certain way. First week of April. By the last week of April, you're going to be looking in the mirror and being like, whoa, I look different. It's that kind of thing. That's the note that I get. I mean, part of the reason I say that is the first half of the month is Aries season. For you, that's a really interesting time. It's sixth house energy, which is all about taking care of your physical body, your daily routines, your work habits, your health habits, like how you serve others. You know, it's very practical energy. And we have a lot going on in that Aries time of year. We have cards are falling. We have the Mercury retrograde until the 15th. So Mercury retrograde in your health area. You just take care of yourself. That's what I'm saying about planting seeds. You know, this is going to be a good time to get extra rest, get extra exercise, start eating all those fresh fruits and veggies, anything, whatever makes you feel good. And then it goes direct on the 15th. So that's great. Well, kind of like helps. It's recharge time though, right? It's planting seed time. We also have a new moon in Aries in that same area. Intention setting with your health goals, with your physical goals, really important time. You know, this is a great time to just be really good to your body. You know, this is glow up time, as I like to say. You know, it's glow up time. And then we have Chiron entering your sixth house. You know, the wounded healer energy entering your sixth house on the 17th in Aries. It's going to hang out there for a little bit. So once again, we're highlighting here your care habits. How are you caring for yourself, Scorpio? I think sometimes you like to skip that detail a little bit. You like to care for the people you've chosen. You care for the people you love. Care for the projects you're passionate about. But sometimes I think you skip a little bit on the self-love. Just a little bit. You push yourself in so many other areas, and then you forget there's this being right here who needs tender, loving care as well, right? So keep that in mind. Okay, we have a Pluto. Your ruling planet, Pluto, is going retrograde in Capricorn until September 30th. In Capricorn, this is your third house of communication. It's your ruling planet going retro in your house of communication. So also a planting seed thing about how you want to communicate your gifts, your talents, your soul purpose in this world is going to be highlighted. So keep that in mind. And then, of course, we have the full moon for you all at the end of the month. And I'm still shuffling here. The cards are taking their time. But as you can see, there's kind of progression of the energy from really practical and quite, I think, quite supportive of you, quite honestly. I think it's so funny how the house placements for Scorpionic energy, and, you know, especially if you're Scorpio rising, these house placements are very specific for you. Aries 6th, you know, Aries is such a dominant, intense energy. It's actually the others, you know, it's ruled by Mars, and you used to be ruled by Mars. So you guys have like an interesting connection with Aries. And it's this really forthright, forceful, action-focused energy. But for you, you have to utilize that energy to take care of yourself. So it's like really intense. You know, it's like there's no half measures here with this. So you may be noticing that your body's pinging at you and telling you, hey, pay attention. I'm feeling some things here. I'm feeling some physical shifts going on that I need you to pay attention because it's trying to get you all healed up and clear so that you can start sharing your soul with others again. You can't do it all the time. You can't be open like that all the time. You gotta go in a little bit, right? Oh my gosh. The last three cards, they just don't want to come out. They don't want to come out. We're waiting for two more. I'm going to do 3 sets of 3 this month. So working our way through the month, just feeling out this energy. And I have to say, just from what's out on the table right now, we don't have everything out yet. There are moments where you are going to feel frustrated and you're going to want things to be moving faster or clearer or quicker or more efficiently than they are. It's okay though. In general, I'm seeing very good potential for you guys. So intention setting, as always, it's a great practice. It's a lifelong practice. We always need to be setting our intentions. It never stops. But this is one of those months that's definitely that, you know. Oh, and the other thing to think about too is we are going into Taurus season second half of the month, which is great for you because that's your 7th house. I forgot to mention this. It's probably why the cards didn't want to come out, because it's like, oh, yeah, 7th house relationship stuff, right? But we have things, so we have Jupiter retrograde in your sign, and that's going on till July. We have Pluto, your ruling planet, retrograde in Capricorn. So you have a lot of your energies having retrograde. However, Mercury goes direct, and then we head into Taurus season, and there is kind of this flowering going on where I think you're going to be feeling a little bit more in your element and a little bit more able to connect with others. So let's look at these cards. Beginning of the month. What was I saying about intention setting? Page of Pentacles, 4 of Cups, 2 of Wands. Beautiful. Beautiful. Interesting, though. Interesting combination, right? Because here was what I'm seeing. So Page of Pentacles, like I was saying about your physical health, your physical well-being. It's going to be showing up. It's going to be getting highlighted. And here's good news, though. Like, this is great news for any kind of health breakthroughs you want to have, and also material, money, practical, right? Getting practical with things, practical investments of your money, practical ways of utilizing your time and energy, practical ways of using your body. That's just going to feel good. It's going to feel good. You're going to be inspired. It's not going to be something you say, okay, I have to do it. It just seems like I have to, and it's ho-hum. It's much more like it feels good. You're feeling practical. You're feeling empowered by it. And internally, you're doing this. You're doing all that physical stuff. You're doing all the practical money, 6th house stuff, you know, not money. It's not the money house, but just kind of the practical world around you. And yet inside, Scorps, what are you doing? You know, the 4 of Cups always shows up when we are ready for something. We feel like we're ready for something. And it's kind of that energy of when you're like, I'm ready for this. You're telling the universe, I'm ready for this. Dang it. I've done all my work. I've shown up. I'm even taking care of my physical health. I'm ready to start this project, move to this new city, start this relationship. Why isn't it here? That's 4 of Cups. You know, it's that moment when you're like, I'm ready. Why isn't it here? But 4 of Cups is always like the calm before the storm. It's like you almost have to get to that point of, I'm ready. Why isn't it here before it can show up? And one of the things that is doing for you is this 2 of Wands energy over here, which is intention setting. So, you know, we're always getting ready to be ready. We're always in the process. We're always more and more ready for the next thing and the next thing and the next thing. That's part of being in this physical form and in this vibrational universe. And sometimes we get slowed down just a little bit, hold back just a little bit so that we can get the full scope of what's coming our way. 2 of Wands is such magical energy, and it's been coming up a lot in April. I have to say the April readings, 2 of Wands is dominant. And 2 of Wands is all about stepping into a doorway and then realizing the full impact of what it is that you're actually going for. And it's about getting clear in your head about what that actually looks like, and also getting your head around the scope of it. I also feel like with this, it's like you want it, you're ready for it, you feel impatient about it, you want to go for it, but you have a couple more things you need to get ready, even though you don't know that yet. And so part of this card's energy is to just help you get ready, right? So enjoy this time. You know, when these times come where it's all about, you know, getting that exercise, getting that extra sleep, doing some practical things around your house, setting some healthy boundaries, and then doing some of this internal work, when it's gone, you actually realize how great it was. So the next 3 cards are telling me a story about sometimes how you don't let yourself receive. Scorpio. What was I just saying about how you guys forget to take care of yourselves because you're so loyal and good at caring for others, and as soon as you have those others around you to care for, you forget to take care of yourself. Same thing goes for receiving. I think you guys are like, I'll go for this, I'll try for this, I'll stay committed to this, but there's another element, which is receiving it. Receiving the love, receiving the help, receiving the opportunity. And here is a process that's going on, and I think it's deeply tied to what I was just talking about with the Four of Cups and Two of Wands with you. You're ready to be ready, you feel ready, yet you still have some resistance to it somehow. And that's why you're getting held back just a little bit. Because whenever I see the Ten of Wands, I think about how we always feel like we have to carry it all. And if we don't carry it all, nothing will ever get done. We'll never get the opportunities we want to have. We'll miss out on life. Nothing's going to be the same. It's like, it's efforting, as Abraham Hicks would say, efforting, which is not the goal, actually. In fact, in putting all that effort out into whatever you're putting this effort out into, I feel like you're really wanting to try. You're really wanting to show up. You're really like gung-ho, which is great. But what it's doing is bringing up this Two of Pentacles, which is feeling like you are having to juggle a lot. Maybe even playing a role or acting a certain way just to get things done and through, even if it's not true to what you're feeling. And that is a state of resistance. You're not actually letting things in. You're feeling like you have to carry all the sticks and juggle everything, right? Look at these two guys. They are efforting. If I ever saw efforting, these two are efforting. They're carrying the world on their shoulders, and they're thinking that that's going to somehow do all the work for other people and somehow get better results. But if you notice, neither of these guys is actually in a place where they're accomplishing anything. They're kind of stuck, right? So it's just a reminder that, you are, with that Four of Cups, you are going to feel some eagerness. Like I said, with that note that I had for you guys, blossoming into flowers at the end of the month, the eagerness for the end of that month is going to be strong. And with that is going to come some of this efforting and some of this resistance and some of this, like, I have to do it all. And it's a great time, Scorps, though, because I do think this is important for you, actually, because you do put a lot of effort into things. It's hard for you not to. Once you've chosen a path, chosen a person, chosen a project, one of the things I love about you is, it's so admirable, is your commitment to it and your consistency with it and your clarity about it. It's so freaking gorgeous, and it's amazing to be around because I can rely on my Scorpios to be utterly present when they've chosen something. But then, you get into this mode where you feel you have to push all the time. And the key really here is the Knight of Cups, right? The Knight of Cups is ease. And this is water energy, just like you. And look at the difference between these guys over here and this guy. First of all, Knight of Cups, that's bringing in some romance energy, right? Knight of Cups is romance. That is the poetry and flowers guy, if I ever saw a poetry and flowers guy. But this guy's also, he has an easy gait on his horse. He's letting the horse, take him forward. He's offering his love, but he's not feeling like he has to get off the horse and walk and trudge through, right? So there's a shift in your energy here, and I do think with Taurus season, it will help. I do think Aries is a little bit of a challenging energy for Scorps. It's not your most natural house placement. It's not the most natural of energies for you. It can make you feel a little bit agitated and edgy and a little bit just out of sorts and a little bit itchy. And when we hit Taurus season, you start to feel a lot more like yourself. And I think you're going to switch into more of this. And with that, you're bringing in more of this energy. So for those of you with love or romance on the brain, the first half of this month may feel really frustrating in that regard until we hit this energetic path. But what I love about all this, and I really want to take a moment to say this, if you take the time to do all this that I was just talking about, give yourself this respect, give yourself the space to receive, just think about it. Think about receiving something. Think about somebody ladling some ambrosia into your mouth rather than you having to go up and ladle it yourself. What would it feel like if somebody did that for you? getting into that receptive mode, that is such important work. It's going to build to what I see at the top here, which is amazing. And it really is, this is the equation. We plant the seeds, we take the time for ourselves, and then we see the reflection back, right? King of Cups, 10 of Cups, and you actually got 2 last cards. So we got 4 at the top. And these were the cards that were taking forever at the beginning of this reading to come out. And it's beautiful. King of Cups, 10 of Cups, Devil, and the 4 of Wands. Okay. This is all commitment energy. All 3 of these right here, commitment. Major commitment. Yeah. And what do we have here? We have the King of Cups. So we have a couple characters that could be coming in. A lot of you are dealing with other water signs, you know, which makes sense. Water works well together. Water, you all have a way that is, it's easy when you're with somebody who understands that. Others of you may be Capricorn. But what I'm seeing here, I'm going to get into that Devil just a second, but, you know, first of all, you're coming into your own again. You know, like, I feel like Scorpio, when they've taken that time for themselves and they apply the kind of love that they want to apply to other people to themselves, is that powerful. Oh my God. The Scorpios, when you do that, you are just so amazing to be around because you have so much power. And I see you in this. I see that in you. And I do think it's attracting in an equal, you know, somebody who's also done that work, and that's what you want, right? The other thing that's key here, it's that Pluto retrograde in Capricorn. Your ruling planet retrograde like that. One thing to keep in mind is how you're communicating what you really want. I think sometimes you guys are so committed and so clear and so bright, and I love it. I just love Scorpio energy. I really do. I have so much respect for it. I'm a little terrified of it, but I have so much respect for it. You know, I've been quite close to it in my life, and still quite close to my past Scorpio boyfriend of 4 years. And we talk about it a lot, actually. We talk about this whole thing. But sometimes I think you guys hide your heart a little bit. With an understanding of pain, the way that you guys have that, often you understand pain and psychic pain and emotional and spiritual pain at a level that a lot of other signs don't. It's one of the things that's brought in with Scorpio energy. And even though you're really committed and you love something with everything which you do, you guys are lovers, I think sometimes you're afraid of what pain could come out of showing how much you want this bright, beautiful thing. And that's one thing to think about. The fact that the Devil came out between these beautiful commitment cards. Devil in itself is not bad. I mean, I think it's another commitment energy. It's another devotional energy. But it's also about feeling chained up to something, feeling chained up to a way of seeing or perceiving or feeling. And I do think you have a bit of a wobble going on here with how you connect to other, and you're a little nervous about it. And there's something there, and that's why I do feel like the first half of this month, really listen in, because the messages about that are going to be coming in for you, free to download at any time if you're listening in. If you do that, it's going to make it a lot easier for this project, this commitment, this energy to come in and be very fulfilling and long lasting. However, if you don't listen to those signs from your body and your soul and what's trying to come through, you may find that you're a little bit more resistant when this thing actually starts to happen. You may find, oh, I'm actually feeling resistance to it. So keep that in mind. The whole process here is really here to help you. And it's really romantic energy. I mean, quite honestly. I know that, you know, not all of you, that's going to be the key theme here. A lot of you are either not interested in dating, in which case this has a lot to do with the creative heart center work you do in the world. And that's the other side of this. With all this Cups energy and Wands energy, it's about your soul purpose as well and how you're communicating that. Both of these are super relevant to you. And both of these are really tied into your soul journey and what matters to you. And I think there's just nervousness because you're when things are good, it makes you nervous. I think in some ways you guys are even more comfortable here where you're examining, you're eyeing everything, you're psychically understanding and getting your head around it. This is actually relatively comfortable for you, but when you're over here, it's a little weird. What do you do with that? How do you incorporate it? How do you feel through this? And that's the new challenge, right? That's what the end of April is about, and that's where we're heading in May as well, is you then figuring out what it's like to be in this scenario, in this matrix of experiences. What is it to be physically present with something that you really love? What is it to be emotionally open to sharing it? Not that I'm saying you guys aren't emotionally open. I think you really are. You're actually quite willing to go there easily, which is another one of the things I love about you is you're willing to go there. I can always jump into those conversations with you guys. But yet, there's something interesting going on here. I have to say, the more I look at these cards, I think I'm just going to leave it at that because I think that each of you, you're going to understand exactly what I'm talking about, and it's going to apply in slightly different ways, obviously. But let's just leave it at that. It's beautiful, you guys. I mean, honestly, this energy is great. Get into the allowing mode. Don't push yourself too hard. Listen into what you need. Love on yourselves a little bit. Be aware that that switch in energy is going to be kind of intense, and you're changing form. You're changing energetic form this month, which is great. All that's happening. All that's happening in kind of this abundant, clear state. So I'm liking what I'm seeing here for Scorps. I am. I'm surrounded by my tribe here. I have my beautiful friend Jill's paintings behind me, and I'm going to leave her info in the description box. I'm also wearing PinkLune, as always. I mean, I wish I could capture like the amount of sparkle in this slice of agate that I have here, but I'm obsessed, as you know. These are people I really believe in and trust, and I want to share their vision with the world, and I'm so happy that I get to work with them and be with them in my life. So I'm just really thankful, and I want you guys to connect with them. So I will leave PinkLune's info as well. She's giving you 15% off for being one of this tribe, and that's just exciting. So all that info is in there. Plus my website, my email, my Instagram, which is at @SARAHTAROT. If you check me out on Instagram, I will put all my information in there because I am doing sessions in April, and I love working with Scorpio energy. We have the best time. So with that being said, I love you all. I will talk to you soon. Have a beautiful April. I'm so excited for that full moon. I will be doing a moon magic, definitely for you guys. And I will see you next month.